now finally the Prime Minister deciding that lives matter most and you can fix the economy later. But I think it's very important to understand or rather explain the difference between lockdown 1.0 and 2.0. So lockdown 1.0, which ended tonight, there was a nationwide complete lockdown imposed with no exceptions. By exceptions, we mean no part of this country was exempt. It was a complete national lockdown. In lockdown 2.0, there will be a complete lockdown, but only after the first week, districts and cities will be reviewed till the 20th of April, and probably there would be some relaxation. In lockdown 1, there was no relaxation on any commercial or agricultural activity. In lockdown 2.0, we are hearing that the low corona or no corona districts may be allowed to restart their activities. And I believe that this is extremely significant. Agricultural, pharma, fishing industries, all those industries that are in the green zone could perhaps be allowed, and detailed guidelines to assess these areas are going to be released, we are hearing, most probably tomorrow. Then in lockdown 1, the central government and offices and ministries were shut. But in lockdown 2.0, it is very, very clear that central government offices shall continue to remain open. So this is a significant change. The government is now working in lockdown 2.0. Then in lockdown 1, hotspot assessment kicked off halfway into the lockdown. We are aware that within the 10 or 15 days of this 21-day lockdown, it kicked in. Now in lockdown 2.0, this lockdown will have the benefit of having 370 of the 718 districts identified as corona pandemic affected. So they have something to start and build on. The centre is coordinating with states on identifying these hotspots. Home Ministry is a nodal authority to collate all this data, and monitoring is going to be done both of hotspots and areas in the green. Now, very quickly before I hand it back to you, Sonia, I think it's very important to understand why did the Prime Minister say that give me 1 week. The next 1 week is going to be harsh and very crucial. Well, here is the explanation. What will the government do in the first week of lockdown 2.0? That's the crucial question on your screen right now. The answer very simply is this, the information that we have learned from our sources. Over the next 1 week, the centre is going to closely monitor those quarantined in red zones. Remember, this is very, very significant. The centre has identified 3.23 lakh people presently in quarantine in these red zones. This process started last week, so this next 1 week is going to complete that 14-day mandatory quarantine period, and hopefully we'll have a clear idea of how bad the situation really is, or can it be contained, especially in these red zones. Before I hand it back to you, Maharashtra alone, by the way, Sonia, has 66,311 isolated cases.